Citizen, you are being accompanied by a malfunction.
I think you have the...
False. Report your purpose, Steel Watcher. Why are you following these citizens unbidden? Ah. I understand your malfunction. Your unit is a highly outdated model. The Ragnak's casement protecting your metallurgized valves is burning well outside the recommended temperature. Please report to the Steelwatch Foundry for dismantling.
Yeah. Hey, Metal Man. If I report to this foundry, can my engine be fixed?
Your make is very obsolete. Repairing your engine would be not only impractical, but impossible. Report to the Steelwatch Foundry for immediate dismantling.
Yeah. Tell me something I don't know.
The Steelwatch Foundry is off limits to visitors. This malfunctioning unit can escort itself back.
Not sure. Maybe whatever keeps them going is similar to my tin can. Turns out I'm the fucking prototype for these things. I'll dismantle every single one of them.
Any threat to the Steelwatch is a threat to Lord Gortash himself. Please report to the Steelwatch Foundry for immediate dismantling.
Let's make tracks before this thing gives me the Edict of Bane. See you around, soldier. Hey, soldier.
Sorry, chum, can't let you through. Worms Rock's closed for the day. Valeria? Well, I'm not messing about with a murder inquiry for damn sure. Straight ahead across the bridge. A blind ogre couldn't miss it.
Halt! We do not know how you gained us shall not be punished. Lord Gortash has been expecting you.
Presence fades, but another takes its place. Confident, dominant, commanding.
My most esteemed guest, we meet at last. I am Lord Enver Gortash. You are the prison bearer, slayer of the dread General Ketheric Thorn. I welcome you to Baldur's Gate, my city. Of course. My Steel Watchers are rather adept at keeping the peace, but not entirely suitable for polite conversation. Allow me to formally invite you to my inauguration. Make your way to the ceremonial hall.
If it isn't little Will's chums. I hope he hasn't been too much trouble. Heard about his father. The Dead Three's puppet. A travesty, really. He's upstairs in Worms Rock, ordaining Gortash as Archduke. A splendid shindig, I hear. Perfect for crashing. Go on up. We'll talk after. And bring the pup along, if you can. I'd hate for him to miss the fun. Go on up. Pay Gortash a visit.
Men, women, children, all barred from entry. A damn travesty. A decade ago, Baldur's Gate would have welcomed any and everyone seeking refuge. Who would take in these souls, if not the Jewel of Baldurin? As long as Gortash is in charge, they'll be left shivering at the gates. All part of the plan, of course. Step 1. Create an army and order it to march on the city. Step 2. Shut the gates in the name of security. Step 3. Bask in the applause. Gortash hasn't made Baldur's Gate safe. He's made it a prison. And when his army breaks through, the people will have nowhere to run. To make this city a safe haven, we'll need to bathe Gortash and his allies in their own blood. I met her twice. The first time, I was a boy of 7 or 8, at a banquet in the Flaming Fist's honor. One look and I was smitten. Fronds, as she floated from one room to the next as if carried by clouds. Stelmane was different. Even with the aid of a cane, each step she took was a struggle. Every word she spoke took great physical effort. A stroke victim? I asked father later. No, he said. A stroke survivor.
You sense uncertainty in Will's voice. He questions his father's explanation.
Something's always gnawed at me. At the banquet, Stelmane didn't seem to look at us, but through us. But that second time, her gaze never left me. It was steel, sharp and unyielding. It could just be my imagination, but I always felt that it was more than a stroke that had changed her. What, though? I couldn't say. Nonsense. Stelmane was no less worthy of life or success because she was disabled. Her death is no blessing. It is a calculated cruelty. Think about it. My father was tadpoled. Stelmane is dead. The people are frightened and the council's in disarray. To exert control, you must first sow chaos. A tyrant's strategy, as father would say. These murders aren't random acts. Someone powerful is guiding the killer's hand, and the city is made weaker for it. Mind flayers are like devils. They just sport tentacles rather than wings. Clever, manipulative, exploitative. The Emperor says he's a friend. I think we'd be fools to believe him. Maybe it's true. Maybe Stelmane allied with a mind flayer and subjected the city to their political will. Or maybe he made an offer she couldn't refuse.
What? Oh, what are you doing in here?
You notice the gnome slip a lockpick into his pocket.
You're not a fist. Go on, get out, or I'll wake the others. Okay. But it isn't like that. I'm not a criminal. I just needed the gold. I'm getting out of here. Taking a ferry down the coast to get me home. Those bloody crooks at the docks are charging triple, though. Danger money. It's a joke. You haven't heard? An army is coming. They're saying it's unstoppable. My wife said we have to stand and fight, and I can't. I won't. I'm not made for this. I'm not a soldier. I only joined for the uniform and a warm bed. They're better off without me. I'm scared. All I want is to go home.
You heard anything about what it's like in the prisons? Actually, don't tell me. I don't want to know. Are they going to arrest us?
Please make your way to the audience chamber.
Calm down, dear. It won't happen, I swear.
I can't really glaze that pizza.
The guard is fast asleep.
Bathed in a 10-day. Ate all the onions. Old man Otto. Back here again. Cell stinks like an old cabbage. 3 bowls of the stew.
Bet I can crack that open.
On your way, may Lord...
Couple turns should do it.
You might as well lock the cell. You're too late. It's over. I came seeking allies to our cause. Watchers spotted me, dragged me to Older Ravengard's husk, empty as a stare. A tadpole's puppet. Nothing more. You've spoken accusations. Apostasy, conspiracy, sedition. I'll be executed in 5 dawns. You might have unlocked my cell, but there's no escape from this place. When the people need a miracle, you cannot wait for the gods to answer. Older's words. I'd almost forgotten. No more sulking. I know what to do. Lead me from my cell. Escort me out of Worm's Rock. I'll seek out my connections. When the city streets shatter, you'll want their blades. Well done. Lead the way.
I wonder what the next move is. Stay focused. On the move.
What do you want? I don't need to escape. I've got food, water, privacy, and I mean to keep it that way.
This is far enough. The way should be clear. I can't thank you enough for getting me out of that damned prison. And for giving me courage when I'd all but run out. I will travel to the upper city, find what allies I can. You won't fight the coming battle alone. As long as the city stands, I will stand with it. This is my promise.
Lord Gortash is expecting you. Please make your way to the audience chamber. Lord Gortash is expecting you. Please make your way to the audience chamber.
This is the armory, not a bloody open house. Fists only. Now clear off. Trade? Do I look like a shopkeeper? This equipment isn't for sale. It belongs to the Flaming Fist. Trading license? Right. Right. Good. Clear.
Please make your way to the audience chamber.
Kinspeople, Baldurians, and dearest Duke Ravengard, thank you for joining me on this exceptional day.
It's him. Gortash. This is it.
I can practically taste his blood from here.
The tiefling is letting her passions get the better of her. The situation is delicate. Do not be swept up in her emotions.
So we bide our time. But make no mistake, that monkey is mine.
A moment, please, my friends. An old acquaintance has come to pay her respects. Please, Karlak, come and say a proper hello.
My respects! You're lucky I've agreed not to shove my boot up your...
Ah, how I've missed your colourful turns of phrase. We must catch up just as soon as I've had words with your little friend. As for you, I understand congratulations are in order. Thorm's defeat hasn't gone unnoticed. You're known for who you are and for that netherstone that you carry. The quakes are a clear warning. If nobody steps in soon, it'll free itself from the authority of the crown. I expect it'll start with turning the Sword Coasts infected. You among them. That prism of yours won't last indefinitely. Next, the grand design. The Mind Flayer Empire reborn. If we're lucky, we'll become slaves. If we're unlucky, well, not the most thrilling of prospects, but it's a fate that can be avoided if you and I come to an understanding. Together, we can still restore authority over the brain.
Of course. Gortash always did have an eye for opportunity.
It's not, but it will not follow new orders unless the Netherstones are united to give the command. When it finishes executing its current orders, it will be free to do as it wishes. That will be bad for everyone. The Crown's magic turned the brain into something the world has never seen. A nether brain. Its power is immense. Once it is freed from its shackles, I doubt we'll ever be able to bring it under control again. There's an old wisdom. A brittle alliance can never be mended. It can only break. With Ketheric gone, Orin proved treacherous. Baal's chosen wants the Netherstones for herself. She only cares for blood. And your blood and mine are of particular interest to her. Orin changes shape faster than you and I change clothes. You know, she's tricked you before. She's targeted me as well. I'm well protected, but she's extremely good at what she does. If Orin obtains all 3 Netherstones, she'll plunge the coast into chaos and paint the city in blood. I can't let that happen. I want to lead this city to glory, not scorch its earth. I'd like to propose a pact, a divine oath sworn upon spirit and flesh. I do no harm to you, nor you to me. Furthermore, you'll have nothing to fear from my steel watch while our pact stands. Thorm's stone is yours to keep. When you slay Orin and take her stone, you bring it here, so the 3 are united once again. Together we rule Faerun as kings. No, more than kings. Gods. We rule as the absolute. What do you say? Shall we be allies?
I can detect no deceit. This alliance could serve us well. And if it does not, well, we need not honor it.
Let's be allies, said the viper to the frog.
Gortash's eyes blink in a consistent rhythm. He stands calmly, confidently. He fully intends to share his kingdom with you.
So Ketherick was ready to betray our alliance too. I can't say it comes as a surprise. But you should know this. I initiated this plot. I brought Ketherick and Orin together to create the Absolute. They knew this would only work if we stood united and coordinated our powers. Their ambition blinded them to reason. I don't suffer the same affliction. In short, you can trust me. Perhaps a demonstration of why you need my help will motivate you to make the right decision. Your camp is compromised. One among you is an imposter, a faceless. Who, I can't say. I'd suggest a thorough investigation. You'll find I speak the truth.
A doppelganger in our camp. That sounds all too believable.
The faceless in your camp is like a knife at your throat. Remove it quickly, or any alliance between us would be exceedingly short-lived. Orin is elusive, shall we say. The grip of the steel watch may be tight, but sand still slips through its fingers. Some conflicts are best resolved quietly. The people are cattle, obedient until panicked. You carry the stone plucked from Merkel's chosen. Besides, I'm not ready to call you enemy. At least not yet. Even horror has a home. Find her nest and slay her there. For all its charms, Baldur's Gate has long had a cancer at its heart. A hidden temple devoted to Baal. That's where Orin became what she is, where she worshipped and schemed. And now, it's where she hides from my watchers, when she's not spilling blood in the streets. You're resourceful. I trust you'll sniff it out. If the trail goes cold, follow the bodies. First, Orin the Red, bloody dagger of Baal, causes panic in the streets through killings in the Absolute's name. Next, the threat of the Absolute's monstrous armies formed by Merkel's general, Ketherick Thor. In such circumstances, people crave strong leaders. Leaders that bring law, order, and protection. Leaders like me, Bane's unyielding hand, author of justice. You are soon to witness the people of Baldur's Gate granting me complete power over them, all out of fear of the Absolute. Next, we will declare curfew and begin infecting the masses. Our subjects will hear the voice of their absolute God. The faithful will do anything in the name of their God. Powerful connections. Let's leave it at that. Our tyranny. And we are saviors. Defenders of the Sword Coast. Our loyal subjects will love us, not hate us. What comes next will be entirely their fault. More importantly, just. Now, come, be witness as I make history as the first Archduke of Baldur's Gate. You will follow me, and you will show due respect. Distinguished dukes, patriarchs, dearest Ravengard, I will heed your call. A new chapter begins.
Enver Gortash, swearest thou by Balduran's blade to defend the citizens of Baldur's Gate from enemies within and without?
I swear.
Swearest thou true faith and fealty to the same, by word, deed, and decree, so that none may suffer?
I swear.
Gathered guests, grant ye consent? Enver Gortash, the council appoints you Archduke of Baldur's Gate.
My friends, the steel watch stands ready. Let its blade fall on any who would diminish our city. And you, honored guest, will find me in my office above when you return. Do not come empty-handed.
So there you have it. Lord Enver Gortash in all his glory. What did you make of him? Yeah. Fucker always had expensive taste. I don't know how anyone in this hall could fall for this charade. Isn't it obvious what a chancer he is? Hard to explain it any other way. Then again, I guess they just want to feel safe by any means necessary. If only they knew the truth. The Dead Three orchestrated all of this. And it's working. I wish this city, the people running it, were smarter than me. Gortash isn't their salvation. He's the monster at the gate.
Archduke Gortash, man of the people, the right people.
Truest of souls, bathed in her light.
There is a fleeting connection. Your parasite communes with his, then falls quiet.
Have you come to behold the new dawn? What is a hero, if not an actor for the greater good? Faerun suffers in darkness. Tyr has abandoned us. Helm's Eye has strayed. But Baldur's Gate will soon burn bright, a beacon to light the heavens. Gortash and I will ignite the final spark, and that, true soul, is the greatest of goods. Be in awe, truest soul. Help me. Ah, the Black Widow caught you in her web. Floric chose shadow over light. Her betrayal burned deeper than the fires of Avernus. She's been punished for her lies. Don't let her get to you.
The Duke wants to keep Floric's location a secret. Little does he know that you've already found and freed her. For a brief moment, uncertainty clouds his mind, then dissipates. The astral prism vibrates in concord.
What nonsense is this?
The prism quivers once more. Ravengard falters.
Help me.
Your tadpole seizes. The prism stills. Ravengard's empty eyes meet yours.
As I said, Baldur's Gate will ascend. Tyrill's first and only grand city.
First comes a vision of terror. The city of Baldur's Gate taken by Lithids. But beyond the terror, there is hope. You see a beaming raven guard presiding over the sunlit city, applauded by the people. A people at peace.
Raven Guard hasn't given up yet. His true self is still in there and could yet be saved.
Have we finished then?
What did I tell you? A momentous occasion. I'm sure you agree. And to think, the drama's just started. You see, Gortash has had Will's father relocated. I'm just an impartial observer. This is Gortash's game. A murderous one, the way I hear it. Raven Guard's good as dead. And to think there's no way to save him. Or is there? I know enough. Let's talk to Will in your camp. Work something out. The Duke's life depends on it.
Miss Zora, I'd take anything she says with a grain of salt. But with her claws as deep in our business as they are, I guess we can't ignore her completely.
Whatever business Will has with Mizora, it will cost him dearly. Or worse still, it will cost us. I hope we can afford it.
Will ought to know what happened with Mizora. Whatever she has in store for him can't be good.
Sorore surge, testis esto pacti me. Come, sisters, be my testament. Notum sit in beator.
Notum sit in beator.
Holy hells.
Fina, Cirrus, arbiters for the hells, exemplars of justice.
Your parasite links with Will's, and your memories flow into him. He sees his father's flight from Worm's Rock, and hears Mizora's words to you.
Shit. Where did Gortash send my father? How do I save him?
Sisters.
Infernos contractos te vocamus. Infernos contractos te vocamus. Infernos contractos te vocamus.
Your contract, Will. Signed in blood, forged in fire, bound in bone, but not unbreakable. No contract is ended without sacrifice. A cost must be paid. Will Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1, I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And you pledge your soul to me and the archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal. Option 2. I break your pact, and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Bloody Zariel. I won't let her take Will.
Silence, Karlak.
Mizora, you asshole!
Choose.
You damned wretch! Father. Do it. Break the pact.
Fiat ita.
Fiat ita. Anima ad beator.
Didn't think you had it in you. Seems my boy's all grown up. And don't go fussing about your father. You made your choice. You knew the terms. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
I brought my own paring knife. Now I just need some ingredients.
I can't believe Will's given up his soul to Zariel. For a father he fell out with ages ago. There's such a thing as being too good. Someone ought to tell Will Ravengard.
Gods, I spent 7 years choked by Mizora's leash. And I spent 7 years hoping to break free. I never knew freedom could taste so bittersweet. I have to believe that. I'm not the Hell's puppet in life, nor its warrior in death. The blade will be guiding his own hand. But freedom will be paid in my father's blood. Tomorrow, I celebrate my gain. Today, I mourn my loss.
A moment passes. In the stillness, you find a mote of tranquility.
The Ravengard name now lives solely with me. I will make it count for something. I signed his life away before the Hell's witnesses. It would be easier to drink the sticks down to the last drop than to alter his fate. I'd be a fool to wish otherwise. We obtain the final 2 nether stones and take back our minds. And the city from the brain. Go on then.
Will sacrificed his own father. I hope freedom from the pact is worth it to him.
Come to bask in the glow of the Moon Maiden's sword?
Little Will's all grown up. I can't wait to see what trouble he gets into. Impossible. My bargain was uncommonly reasonable. A single soul for the return of Baldur's Gate's most beloved duke. A real bargain, I should think. I never thought the legendary Blade of Frontiers would surrender his father for freedom. Not very valorous, if you ask me. But what does a mean old devil like me know about heroes? Oh, you are an inquisitive one. I'd have thought you'd figured by now. Zariel found new use for an old battle axe. The dead three and that bulging brain of theirs are a threat to more than this trifling city, you know. Savor her company. Who's to say when Zariel might change her mind? My mistress can be so capricious. The absolutists worked a number on me at Moonrise. And you're the best hope I've got at payback. No one crosses the Hell's Children without getting scorched. The 9 Hells of Beator. Each its own domain, each with its own archdevil to rule it. I call the first hell my home, Avernus. My mistress Zariel's realm, a torrid battleground split by the bloody waters of the Styx. How I adore it, the delicious agony of it all. The other 8, well, they are pleasures unto themselves. Perhaps I'll show you myself, if I deem you worthy. Correct. I didn't. If you must know, I was scouting the cultists on behalf of Zariel, but those cursed shadows were thick enough to fell even a half-fiend. I woke in that damned pod. It kept my body sealed and my most powerful magic silenced. But a brave, kind, benevolent soul set me free. Gallantry isn't dead, after all. Why? I'm supplying Will with every scrap of his infernal power. I've paid my dues many times over. I tell you what, when the time comes to squish that big baddie of a brain, I'll lend you a hand.
Time and again, Will's plight reinforces my decision not to pursue the path of a warlock. It's one thing to make such a sacrifice in the pursuit of such a pack, but to do so in order to escape one, truly, it leaves you with nothing.
Will sacrificed his own father. A hard choice, but not one that is unknown in nature. At times, a seedling must strangle the very tree that bore it, if it's to survive. I have. He speaks to me during my nightly meditations. He is well, and Oliver also. At times they are one, and at others they divide. Easier for playing, perhaps. And the land thrives also. I doubt you would recognize it. Perhaps one day, you and I can both return and see it for ourselves.
Keeping very well, I hope? Look after my angel, of course. She's been through more than I can bear to think about. 100 years in the Shadowfell. 100 years being murdered by Sharans over and over. She's a formidable. We'll both of us stand by you when the time comes to put